This video is really a chance to talk to you a little bit about what I was doing before lockdown took place, and give you a taste of what might be in store once it's over. Myself and some trusty assistants were working on a collection of paintings which were destined for Strangers' Hall in Norwich, which is a museum but also a sort of historical building which has a Georgian dining room and various other sort of spaces which have historical paintings hanging in them. And I had designed a series of reinterpretations of those paintings to be hung alongside the originals. Here is one of them. This is of the Custance family in Norwich, and it's based upon an 18th century painting. And I don't know how visible this is on camera, but this is to scale, so the idea was it would hang alongside the original painting, but you actually have a series of abstract patterns within this painting, emanating from what I think are the key energy points within the original. And this is really sort of exploring the nuts and bolts of realist painting, and hopefully kind of helping people see those paintings afresh, the kind of paintings from the past. I'm a big fan of historical painting, and one of the things that is often sort of reflected upon when people are looking at those paintings is the underlying geometry of them, and the idea that perhaps there were sort of key energy points within those paintings. So this painting's been fractured into a series of energy points that have sort of overlap on top of each other to create this pattern, and the energy points are sort of informed also by the geometry of the painting. So you've got a series of lines running up towards kind of central points within the image that are to do with the perspective of the painting. But you've also got energy points coming from kind of key points of interest within the painting, like this pheasant here or this girl's face here. It creates a sort of energy and movement within the painting. It's almost sort of like a glitched version of the original, where the painting's been sort of pixelated and sort of collapsing slightly, yeah, I thought it was an interesting sort of way of sort of refreshing those pieces and also sort of subverting them, because these paintings, by their nature, once you've drawn all the patterns out, essentially it's a case of filling kind of colours within that pattern, so it almost becomes a little bit sort of automated. There's a certain amount of paint by numbers in it, although you certainly need a degree of brush control to create these images. Once the kind of the colours have been blocked in, actually then the idea with these was to then go back over them and treat them in a similar way to the way the originals would have been treated. So I did actually do a series of 18th century style glazes on top of this painting to get the final image and bring a certain amount of depth to it. So that is the portrait of the Custance family by the artist William Beechey, reinterpreted as a fractal painting.